More music. Better mental health. Only on IPL Radio.
And welcome back with Good Vibrations here with Mish and Lana today. Hi, Lana.
Hey,
when
Mish.
I say your name, you should say hello.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I've got a special guest on the end of the phone. Hopefully everybody can hear her. Ashlee from Zero to Hero. Are you there, Ashlee?
Yes, I am. Thank you for having
Excellent.
me.
Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. Now, I've looked on what Zero to Hero is, and I'm absolutely blown away by what it is. Can you explain to our listeners what Zero to Hero exactly is?
Yeah, so we're a youth mental health charity. So we exist essentially to prevent suicide, but also to improve mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why we particularly focus on young people is just the prevalence of mental health issues getting younger and younger.
Yeah.
And we're kind of trying really hard to, instead of deal at the point of crisis, prevent someone from ever getting to the point of crisis.
Excellent. What ages are you looking at?
Yeah, so we work with in schools, 10 to 18-year-olds.
Okay.
And then after school, through our camp and clinic programs, we work with children as young as 7.
Excellent. Yeah, tell me about those camps and you have courses and things like that. Tell me a bit about your camps.
Yeah, so we run lots of different camps. The camp we're probably most well known for is a camp that takes 40 young leaders from years 10, 11, 12 from across the state.
Yeah.
So in that particular camp, we'll have students represented from all over Perth Metro, but also up in the Pilbara and the Kimberley and down in Albany and, all over.
Yep.
And we teach them first and foremost how to support their own mental health. So like put that oxygen mask on themselves first.
Sure, yep.
And then, they do an accreditation in suicide alertness, which then helps them prevent suicide with their peers. So we know that when young people are struggling, well, pretty much when most people are struggling, they reach out to their friend first. That program was designed to sort of give teenagers the skills that they needed to identify if one of their mates was struggling, and exactly what to do, what to say, what not to say, and then which services were going to be able to support them.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, a really important program that's been really well received, and a program we've had over 1,200 WA young people go through.
Wow, and how
over the
often does
last
that,
years.
how often do you have the camps?
We're running that 7 or 8 times this year, so always in school holidays, unless we run it specifically for a particular region or a particular high school. But it just, we kind of meet demand, and if an organisation asks or a community asks, we'll do our best to.
You're going to be busy then. I reckon
like
it's
that.
definitely a demand that's increasing, I would say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and so
exactly.
where would you hold the camps?
It depends where we are. It's usually Nanga Bush Camp or around the Dwelling Up area.
Oh, great.
But sometimes, we've done a program for Christchurch Grammar, and they've got a campsite themselves.
Oh, right.
So we used their campsite. But never usually in town or in an area that they're used to.
Yeah, good.
So we want to take them out of Perth so they can really immerse themselves in the learning.
Out of their comfort zone as well.
Yes. And then, they're around different people in most cases. So they really get to sort of challenge their thoughts, their feelings, their perceptions, and really dive into the learning in that model.
That's terrific. And do you do courses as well?
Yeah, we've got, I can't even remember at the last count. I think we've got 12 or 13 programs we offer in school. Everything from 8-week resilience building programs to 12-month programs for teenagers around increasing compassion, because there's been huge links to compassion and empathy and how that decreases anxiety and depression. And then lots of different programs around just understanding mental health, anxiety, nutrition, and then a lot that's
because it all ties in, doesn't it?
Yeah,
with the anxieties and depression and
with the Freo doctors as well, combining sort of physical and mental health.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, just trying any way we can to really use different vehicles to engage young people. Because if we went in there with a bunch of slides and pie graphs and
too much.
clinical data, they're not going to respond.
Not even going to take it in. Not even going to take it in. So So you say you do it through the schools?
Schools and parents can engage in our programs outside of schools through the camp program. So
is it funded in any way?
Sorry, what was that?
Is it funded in any way?
Our corporates fund us. We're not government funded.
Right.
We get funding through our corporates. Most of our programs are free for children, teenagers and parents.
That's fantastic.
Some of our sort of extracurricular programs are a small fee, but not many.
That's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So you're north and south? Well, you're everywhere by the
we're
sounds
all
of
over
it.
Western Australia.
Yeah,
so we're
that's
working
fantastic.
in 250 schools at the moment.
That's
so
brilliant.
all over.
Because I used to live out in the wheat belt, and they struggle out there definitely with depression,
We just got back from the wheat belt late last year actually, and we're heading there again very shortly.
Good.
So yeah, there's a huge need, and regional towns are really, they just don't have the same support services.
Correct.
And the young people haven't been bombarded, I suppose, with the mental health and the bullying talks and things like that.
And it happens everywhere.
Hunger.
It happens everywhere. And I've also noticed, being from the wheat belt myself, it's very the children are very encouraged to do sport. That's their social. But if you're not sporty in any way, you don't fit in. So that's what causes anxiety and depression and self-esteem issues and all that sort of thing. So that I think that's another area where children, when they don't fit into that sporting culture, because it is very sporting.
Interesting you say that, because we've always had a sport camp, because it's been an easy way to engage our kids, especially our boys, and also our Aboriginal young people. However, we did realise that we were missing a huge percentage of young people that just don't engage in sports.
Correct.
So we created some creative camps last year, so using the arts to engage another percentage. And, we still know we're probably missing some that way, but, we're learning as we go and trying to offer as many programs as we can.
Absolutely. Because I think when there's sport involved, they are socialising at least, whereas the kids that are sitting at home on their video games, etc., are not socialising, and that's where the trouble starts. The isolation, particularly country isolation in being in a country town, then isolation in their homes because they're not being involved in social activities. So I think, that's where I see it. That's just an opinion that I have. Which I reckon that would be definitely increasing out there.
Really missing that peer network, and then also if they're not exercising,
that's it.
Not getting sunshine, not eating healthy, healthy lifestyle,
and then they tend to nibble on chips and have snacks here and there, and they're not eating properly.
They can all contribit to sort of anxiety, depression, and mental health problems. Yeah.
Okay, so what I want to ask you, if it's okay, is where did this start? Because you started this. This is your baby.
I did. You can hear my other baby in the background. She's off school. She's on her first 4 days this week. And so first week of full-time school ever. And,
You're
she's
kidding. Uh-oh. Write that in in your diary.
Yeah, her and a bumblebee had an incident yesterday, and the bumblebee won.
Oh, they're nasty things, absolutely nasty things.
Yeah.
They really hurt.
Yeah, so Zero to Hero started in 2008.
Okay.
Just as I just wanted to fundraise for suicide prevention. I'd lost a family member to suicide, and just really wanted to prevent it. Like, it kind of turned a switch on inside of me, and I just went, this can't be. I think when it happened to me, and when it happens to you and your family, and then you realise how prevalent it is. It was like, how did I not know this?
Yes.
How was I not taught this in school?
Yes.
Fast forward 4 years, and I'd fundraised lots of money for suicide prevention charities, and then
did you do that through any particular charities?
Yeah, so Lifeline, Suicide Prevention Australia, and also Youth Focus, who are all amazing.
I'm very much involved with Black Dog because I'm a motorbike rider, so I do Black Dog ride. Yeah, similar thing. Yeah.
But what I realised in that sort of 4 years was that was all at the pointy end or crisis point or treatment end.
Yes, you want the prevention.
I became interested in how do I prevent it? How do I do something that's not being done? And so, 10 years ago this year, we moved into youth and schools and education, prevention and health promotion.
That's absolutely really, really inspiring. I've also had suicide in my family, and I still struggle with it 17 years later. It's something that I don't think you ever get over it, but there's always...
Yeah, it's such an unusual grief.
It's horrible.
Like, there's so
absolutely
much
horrible.
sort of
so
self-questioning and self-blame.
Yep, definitely. It's very difficult to... I don't think you ever get over it, but they're very difficult to deal with. Hard. Anyway, we won't get into that. So that's fantastic. That's absolutely amazing that you started that. And
we've got a pretty incredible team though. So that's how we have such.
Well, you
today.
do. You're only as good as the team you have behind you. And so are they voluntary or do you have staff on?
No, we've got I volunteered for 9-10 years.
Yeah, of course.
But now we just couldn't do what we do with just volunteers. As amazing as our volunteers are.
Yeah.
Working across the state with 250 schools and 25,000 students. students, and we got to a point where we had to pay staff. So now we've got a team of 18 now.
And I believe probably when you're working through schools, there's a lot of red tape as well that you need to
Very
go
true.
through. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of red tape being a charity,
Of course.
then working in schools, and then working with young people, and then mental health.
Exactly.
So, we have to manage, and also just to ensure that what we're offering is best practice, what we're offering is safe, and then that we're engaging with young people in the way that they'd like to.
That's absolutely fantastic. So if anyone wanted to contact you or contact Zero to Hero for assistance in any way, or just to get some more information, how would they do that?
Yeah, so jump onto our website. So Zero to Hero, ZERO, number 2, and then HERO.com.au. Heaps of information on there. However, if they need more information, they can get in touch.
Excellent. So, and do you have a Facebook page, I believe, do you?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, so Zero to Hero AU, and then also on Instagram, Zero to Hero AU as well.
Perfect.
So, yeah, easy ways to engage.
Yeah.
And we're thinking about TikTok. We're just not ready to take
Yeah, I've just done that actually. And you know what? You need a social media person because it's got a lot of time involved.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, young people are there, and we're like, oh, hang on, they need to get off TikTok and
we're trying to get on. Yeah.
Yeah. So
no, it is. It's a lot of time.
We're probably going to lose the fight on that one.
So can I ask you what your background is? Are you in marketing or something in your background?
Yes. Yeah, I am. So I studied business, public relations and marketing, but I've studied a lot in the sort of mental health space since then, but not a formal qualification in psychology.
Okay.
Which kind of keeps me giving a bit of a lived experience aspect to what we do.
For sure.
So we work with a lot of teachers and psychologists to develop and produce what we do.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think you need to have a lived experience in that area for sure. Look, one of our IPL family here, we're all family in IPL, is someone who you know, I believe, Paul Farrelly.
Oh, yes, I do.
He's one of our sponsors and supporters here, so I'm going to send out
real estate with him back in the day.
Yes, that's right. I wasn't going to bring that up, but
before I went to uni, before I saw the light, I realised I wasn't connected to real estate, unfortunately.
Yes.
Yeah,
a lot of money in real estate.
Would have made a lot more money if
sure.
I'd stayed in real estate versus charity.
But you followed your passion, and that's more important. Definitely. Yeah.
Yes.
I can hear some giggling in the background.
She's had enough.
Yeah, Lana, is there anything else did you want to ask anything of Ashlee while she's here? Because you've suffered from. Do you suffer from depression?
Yeah.
You have done
much
so.
since I've been a kid.
Okay, there you go. So, did you have any support when you were younger?
Not particularly. No.
Do you think this would have been? Well, I think it would have been major benefit.
Yeah, no, that would have. Just from what I've heard, that would have been a really cool thing to engage with when I was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we find, and it's just normalising the. We've gotten pen on ourselves.
Drama.
Yeah, that's what we find is so many people are suffering, and they suffer in silence. And when they kind of get to meet someone that's also going through what they're going through, it just normalises those feelings.
Exactly.
And when you're a teenager and you're going through all of the different changes that you're going through, it's nice to feel like you belong.
Yeah, absolutely.
I definitely would have. Sorry, I was going to say.
All good.
I would have appreciated more wholesome senses of belonging, because I went down going to parties all the time and getting heavily involved with that kind of scene instead of engaging with mental health support. I mean, I did start to get engaged with mental health support eventually, but it was pretty disheartening the support that I kind of got.
Well, I remember because I've suffered depression probably all my life, and I remember having issues at high school, and I remember having to see, because I wasn't fitting in with people, I had to see a psychologist. Now, for someone who's 14, 15, to having to go to a psychologist, and your friend or friends, not even friends, people who are in that school are aware of you're going to see a psychologist, it makes you feel even worse about yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And it wasn't...
pink slip or whatever it was, you get to go to student services, and it looked like you had another head.
Yeah, and you were very isolated. You were very one person out of the whole school. It was not, you weren't made to feel comfortable about it or secure about it, or it was really difficult time. And I'm talking about back in the 80s. So this is as fantastic that you're doing this, and I think that every school should have some sort of mental health studies of some sort. Along with their first aid, I think every school should do a general first aid course.
Yeah.
And mental health first aid as well. which would be fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. My apologies for the that's
totally fine. Totally fine. If it was easier to get you on the phone.
We're all human.
Absolutely. And I don't know whether you know about IPL. It's IPL stands for Inspiring Passionate Lives. So I'm very much in my show on Fridays. I'm very much in to do with mental health awareness.
Yeah, great.
I need to. I just want to use IPL as a platform to people to come in, as Lana has come in and tell me the stories of their journeys to show people that you're not alone, and there's a lot of people out there that are struggling but surviving and continuing on with their journey and coming out the other end. So that's what it's all about. So
yes, well, thank you for what you do.
Thank you. So thank you, Ashlee, again. If you ever want to pop on or pop in, you're always very welcome. Please keep in contact with us. And I'm an 80s freak, so I'm going to play some 80s music now.
Right.
And do you like this is Video Killed the Radio Star by the Buggles. And Lana's looking at me.
I actually know this song.
You know this song because she's in her 20s and she's going, what the hell? I don't even know what all this 80s stuff is. Yeah.
What's the video store?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, it is a video store. Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to pop that on. Again, thank you so much and have a good rest of your day. Hopefully your daughter gets well.
Enjoy your weekend.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye.